She thought she was marrying a man, but she didn't know she was marrying a whole war, a bloodline soaked in secrets, curses, and unfinished contracts signed by his ancestors in silence. He came with a smile, but also with unrepented altars trailing behind him, shrines she never saw, but felt in her womb, in the war against their children, in the tension she couldn't name, until God said, "You're not just his wife, you're the intercessor sent to dismantle demonic inheritance." Because the moment she said, "I do," she married the rebellion of his forefathers, generational womanizers, unrepentant abusers, soul tie initiators, and mothers who coddled their sons while cursing their daughters-in-law. She didn't sign up for the warfare, but heaven assigned her to win it. So when his family turned on her, it wasn't personal, it was spiritual. The Jezebels, Ahabs, and Balaams recognized her oil, and they panicked because she was the breaker anointing they never saw coming. You didn't just marry him, you married the unfinished business of an entire bloodline, and God picked you to finish what hell started. She broke the curse, she wrestled in the spirit, she saved the legacy. While they mocked her in flesh, she built altars in heaven. The bloodline is now clean, because a wife stood up and said, "Not on my watch." She didn't just love her husband, she carried the first prophecy of his legacy in her womb. Twice she conceived, a girl first, but the dream came. Black hooded women surrounding her belly, sent on assignment to steal the seed. The war was declared before the child was even formed. That was no miscarriage, that was spiritual assassination. Then came the boy. But again, the womb trembled. The altar of hell had been fed by generations before her, and the child was caught in crossfire. But here's the mystery. She was the only one who ever carried his child, because God said, "She's the covenant, the others were contracts." How do you know when God handpicked the family? Husband, wife, and each child, born in different years, yet their birthdays aligned on the same calendar day each year. That's not random. That's prophetic patterning. It's divine architecture. It's the fingerprint of heaven. She didn't marry randomly. She stepped into a bloodline to restore it. Even her ex confessed, "God spoke to me audibly. He said if I didn't get it together, he would remove her." And he did. When God seals a wife's identity, no ex, no aunt, no demon in disguise can undo what heaven has written. She wasn't just the wife. She was the womb of destiny, the gatekeeper of legacy, and the one God trusted with the blueprint of the next generation. She's the reason the curses died and the prophetic lineage survived. But here's the final strike. They didn't just interfere with a marriage. They interrupted a divine military movement. He was doing the right thing. He aligned with God's choice, a covenant woman with a breaker anointing, and the moment he did, hell's emergency sirens went off. Because heaven had just activated a covenant battalion, and his wife was the commander. But the EX couldn't let go. Still obsessed with a man God already revoked access to. Still clinging to old soul contracts when God had already stamped void. And the in-laws, they didn't just interfere. They colluded with rebellion, gave voice to demons, tried to override heaven's assignment with gossip, manipulation, and sabotage disguised as concern. They told him to call the ex. They knew about the prophecy. They saw the wife was chosen, and yet they chose war with God. "She don't cook like me," one muttered. But they went back for seconds, cleaned the plates, asked for leftovers. "She's not one of us," they said, but God said, "She's mine, appointed, anointed, and assigned." So when they tried to fracture the covenant, they weren't just disrespecting a wife, they were challenging heaven's throne. What God says about this, Genesis 2:24. "And the two shall become one flesh," not two, plus mama, plus cousin, plus Jezebel in the DM. Matthew 19:6. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder, not even his mama, ex, or wicked auntie from the hills of Obiah. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And that includes family-shaped ones. They didn't just fight a woman, they fought a mantled wife sent to deliver a bloodline. And now the verdict is sealed. She stays, they go, because heaven doesn't take sides, it takes covenant.